We're live. Oh,
Welcome to is that the right way? 2 week build?
yes.
2 week build with Queen Raae!
Are you now just like putting your hand over Amy, who is in charge of the 2 week build stuff? I guess she's not on the stream with us, so she kind of. But
Yet.
we're doing this yet. Maybe
Yet.
we should get. It's 5 o'clock her time, though. I think, or maybe not.
In the
It's
morning.
Nashville. Amy's in Nashville, so she might. She might actually be able to join us for one of these streams. We'll see. So
Nashville,
what are
Tennessee.
we? So what are we talking about? We are talking about the 2 week build challenge that is put on by Amy Detton. So let's see. Time in Nashville.
That's
It's
not what?
7:12. It's 7:12. She might be able to join us one day.
In the morning.
I'm just ignoring your why and what because I have no idea what we're gonna do.
You said you said what, and I thought we were going to talk about what.
Yeah,
because
I'm just ignoring your yeah.
didn't we
just had
decide
some.
yesterday what we were going to do?
No, I was saying that maybe off stream I would figure out some stuff. I did figure out some stuff, so we can go through that.
Yes, let's.
And I think today will be one of those kind of when you're coding. Like now we've actually done all the coding live. Every now and then you just have this hour where you just need to like fix little things and like glue things together that isn't like one topic. But at least for the what, if you want to hold up your what, is that we are going to make sure that what we're going to make sure that we are able to import all of the episodes. So we were having some issues with the and the why is because we want all the episodes from a podcast to become pages in our Astro podcast website. So we managed to do that yesterday, and we were using the transistor API, and I got all flustered by this. Like curl, whenever I see curl, my mind just go blank. I just feel stupid. I just like I have no faith in myself. It's just like I don't know if you have that, but like for some concepts, it's one of those things that maybe I should just spend some time learning it because I just feel stupid every time I saw it. So we tried to do this curl to fetch converter, and then it said it was a post request. But we saw up here that it's get requests, and these are just called parameters. So I was thinking maybe they were just search query parameters, but we just ended up never testing that because I was so confused by these little D's here that I thought denoted like data in the post request, which might still be true. Like, I don't know. I haven't double checked. But right before stream, at least, I managed to have a little go, and they were search query params. So we could just add pagination per 1,000, and then it will actually fetch. So that was all we needed to do.
I mean, yeah, I said
Yes.
yeah while I was muted.
Yeah, but the thing is that I thought just for completeness, like this works for us because the Slow and Steady podcast, which we are using as our test podcast, has 200 episodes, and I mean the podcast that we are creating the site for has much less than that. But I thought maybe for like completeness we could showcase how we would do this with pagination so that we would be sure that we have gotten all of the episodes.
Yes.
So what I've also done off stream is that I created types for the episodes, the episode data, and the response that we're getting back, or at least what we're using. And if we check out the response here, you see that we get the data is a list of the resource type. So the type is episode here because we're asking for episodes. And then the attributes are actually the object that describes the whole episode. And there's a lot more data. If we click over here in episodes, we'll see all the data that is available to us. But then there's also this meta object. So this is quite common with API endpoints, is that you have one object that kind of gives you the information you asked for, and then you have this meta object that gives you a little bit of meta data about the answer, the response that you got. So, this is saying that we got we are on current page 1 of a total pages of 1, and the total count of the resources are 2. But in our case, when we're asking for 1,000 here, we would then get current page 1 out of a total pages 1 with a total count of 202 episodes. But what we kind of want to do instead is that I think the default was 20. I think we got 20 episodes when we didn't add this. So let's do like 100. We will do bigger chunks of episodes. Oh, so this is something I started. Yeah. We'll do bigger chunks. So if we do 100, if we do this now, we're only going to get 100 episodes. So to make sure that we get all of them, we need to do some recursion. Which means that we'll have to first ask. So the pages, like this was confusing to me when I started working with API. So pages means that if you, let's do the phone book example. So you have a phone book, and on every page, you might have the phone number for, I hope you guys are old enough to know what a phone book is. The book that you got shipped to your house that had all of the telephone numbers to everybody in your city or your country, like Norway usually had for the whole country, but you could also get a smaller one for the city. Anyway, that kind of a book, you would open it and we'll have the numbers for everyone, number and addresses for everyone in your city, let's say. And that is then maybe like 600,000. So in Oslo, that would be 600,000 people. And then on every page, how many can fit on a page? So let's say it's like 1,000 people per page, then we would have 600 pages for 600,000 people. And this is the same thing with API endpoints. So we're saying that if we're asking for 100 for the Slow and Steady podcast, we are asking to get 100 per page. So in the Slow and Steady podcast, there's 202 episodes, I think. It should not be 200 yet because we're on episode 197, but it's giving us 202, but that's for a different, let's do a smaller number. So let's do 50. So let's do 50, and let's say we have 100 and something podcast episodes. Then Transistor behind the scenes would look up how many episodes are there. And if we're asking for 50, how many pages would that be? So that would be then, for instance, 160 divided by 50. So that would give us 4 pages, 3 pages of 50 episodes, and 1 last page of 10 episodes, 160 episodes in total. So that's the kind of the pages concept. You take all of the available things you're asking for, in this case, episodes. And because sometimes, let's say it was like 100,000, we don't want to get like 100,000. That would be a very, very big response. So it's a way to make the responses smaller, and then we could ask recursively for the results we want. Did that make any sense?
Yeah.
Did you like my phone book?
Yeah.
Phone book analogy. So to do recursion, we need to know what we're going to start with. So we're going to create a meta object here, which is current page. And we're going to start by 1 because it looks like with the Transistor API, we're starting at 1. We're not starting at 0, which is what we often do in tech. So it's a number, sorry. And we're going to default it to current page 1. And then we'll also have a total pages. And that's also a number, but we don't know how many total pages there are. So total pages, let's do undefined. So we don't know how many pages there are yet in total, but we know we're going to start at page 1 because we want all of them. So what I like to do do whiles for this, which is a do while loop where we say we're going to do the first thing no matter what, and then we're going to check our conditions. And the conditions will be that if the current page is less than the total pages, we're going to continue doing this work. And that's why I want to do a do while, because we don't know what the total pages are. We could fake it and just set like an arbitrary high number. So if we had done a while loop, we could then check is current pages less than total pages? Yes, it is. And then we'll set the total pages from the response we get back. But I like to kind of be explicit that we're going to do this thing once, no matter what the condition is. So we'll do, and we'll have the response, and we're going to do 50. We often like to define these. So let's do page size equals 50. Well, maybe I'll just use the same thing. Current page total. No, that's not in there. So page size is 50. So let's make this the page size. And then what was the yeah, so we're doing pagination per. So that's how many episodes per page. It's default 10, but actually for us it was default 20, but maybe just something wrong with a little mistake in the documentation. And then the pagination page, oh, it says it defaults to 0, but why is it giving us 1 as the first one? Interesting. Anyway, we're gonna do 1. What was I doing? We're gonna give it the pagination page. So pagination and pagination page equals to meta current page. Yes. So hopefully, Copilot, sometimes you help and sometimes you really don't. Why did you give me all of this again? No, don't give it to me again. Okay, there we go. Copilot, I love you, but I also get frustrated by you sometimes. So hopefully if we just send in the current page now that, yeah, we have the current page. Yes. And then the total pages is undefined. And then when we get the response back, we then have to set the meta total pages to whatever response we're getting. So let's do, we need to define our interface. So we'll do meta total records, total pages. That wasn't completely correct, but it's a good start, Copilot. So it was total pages. We have total pages. It's current page. And then it was total count. So instead of total records, it was total kind. So you can see that this is pretty much like, I would say something fairly common way of doing it, because you could see Copilot would actually give us a meta object that was fairly similar, but it was count instead of records. Okay. And why is this wrong?
Do you have big R on response?
Oh,
interface response?
No, it's fine. I was just doing something in the wrong location. Here we go.
Okay.
So then we'll do that. The new total pages is the total pages. And then the new current page is the page that we got back from them plus 1. So we could actually start with undefined here even, and then see if we send it undefined, it will probably give us the current page. And then if it starts at 0 or if it starts at 1, like we, that would be fine. Okay, so it's then the responses current page plus 1 is the next one. So if the new meta current page is less than or equal to total pages, we're going to run this again. And now we don't have our response outside of our do while. So we're using response there. So let's create an episodes. No, because episodes are the episode data. Didn't I have a data object up there? Episode
You
data.
got date now. Episode date.
Why do I always write date instead of data? So let's just start with an empty array, and then we will episode data will push the response data that we're getting back. And then to create our pages, we'll use our episode data. And I think this will be correct, but with recursion, I always have to do some sanity checks to make sure that, it makes sense. So I usually just do a console log in here to showcase like what data we have. So let's do console log meta, which is like the new meta, and then we'll start and see what we get. So if my calculations are right, I think we're going to get, depending on how many episodes there actually is. Well, if it's above 200, we should be getting 5 pages because we're doing a page size of 50. Okay, so let's try. So we're going to run this. We're going to go to we're going to go to that page, the scary bell pepper page, and it's not working. So response data is not iterable.
Was it because it was undefined? Because it said property undefined and you have undefined.
Where?
It says there in red.
Yeah, cannot read property undefined, which means that the response is undefined. So it might not like that I am sending in undefined values up here.
Yeah.
So we can do 1, and let's try with just 10 as a start. Let's see if that works. Yeah, so that works.
So it didn't like undefined.
No, it didn't like undefined. So that's the some APIs, if you send in undefined, they will use their default, and that's a way to kind of, if you don't really know where you want to start, like if it starts on 0 or 1 and that kind of thing, like it could be a good way to trick it into just giving you the default. But here it seems like we can't just send it undefined. So we'll start with 1 and then go to 10. I'm gonna check if there's like a 0.
You tried to trick it.
Oh,
that's what it didn't like then, maybe.
I tried to be lazy. That's what
Nobody
I tried
likes to be tricked.
So sometimes, like if for a number being undefined, we'll just start with -1 because that's like not a positive number, so we know that that's not the number we wanted. And if we look at this now, we're getting current page 2, total pages 5, current page 6, total pages 5. So it looks like, well, is it starting on 1? So it's starting on, so we can, this is weird. Total pages 5. And then we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we just need to do, see, this is where my recursion, let's do less than. Yeah, but then we're not getting the 202. There's something off with the pagination here.
Yes.
Because it should be total pages 6 if they start at 1.
But
let's do console log. As long as we get everyone, fetching page method of fetching page.
But are you hard coding how many pages there are? What when you make more episodes?
Yeah, so I'm not. So I'm saying -1, and then I take the response that I'm getting from Transistor and setting the total pages.
Smooth! I like it!
So let's try again, and let's see if we get the numbers correct. Yeah, so we're asking for page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, so we're asking for page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then so it is correct. Okay. So then when we set new meta being 6, 6 is bigger than 5. It's bigger than 5, so then it doesn't do the request again. So it kind of stops. 6 is bigger than 5, we stop. So we had it correct. It was just me and my counting that I didn't trust my own counting. Okay. So now let's go back to since this is now working, let's go and have a look at slow and steady, because I am pretty sure that Benedict and I put 197 as the episode number for yesterday's episode.
Yeah.
Which is not out yet, and it's not even out yet. So how come? I think we messed up our count.
Oh yeah, okay, I see. Yeah,
because it's saying that we are on episode 202. So yesterday's recording should have been 203.
Yeah.
But maybe there are some like unpublished that or something. And if in that case, we would need to remove those. Well, let's go to YouTube. Slow and steady. Now people can see what I look at YouTube. Let's see if slow and steady pod. What? We are not the biggest. There we go. We have.
Oh. Well.
I mean, we were streaming yesterday. There we go. Okay, YouTube had some issues. Yeah, because we were saying 196, 197. Have we miscounted?
Yes.
90. Oh, yes. Look at this. 90, 91, 92, 93, 93, 95. Well, that's correct then.
Yeah.
96,
yeah.
97. But why is Transistor giving us 202 episodes?
I kind of feel that it's not that important, but maybe it is super
It's important to me. These things needs to be correct, Ola. We can't just
but you're messing around trying to find out if the counting is wrong or if a transistor did something wrong. It doesn't really matter to our code.
No, but I think maybe it's because we are doing draft, scheduled, and published. So I think if we ask for just published, then maybe we're getting the correct number. But this is important because we don't want to, if we have scheduled podcasts, we don't want to show them on our page if they aren't released yet, So this is important stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, status published. There is a question for you, Ola.
What?
In the chat.
What? From the Twitter then, because I'm watching on YouTube here, so
yes, it's on the Twitter.
It's William, the William.
Yes.
What hat? Oh, I will read him. Okay, are you ready? Yes. What hat is that, Ura? I finally got to ask on stream. Yeah, welcome, William. Yeah, for the as you say in Norway, for the viewer who is keeping up, we already have a video with William here where Queen Raae is cooking. She's cooking in the factory. We have a factory back here. She's cooking. And if you want to know what she's cooking, you can check out the video. And William is there and he will eventually eat it. And this is his comment on the food. He was like, yeah, great food. And yeah, he was here for co-working. And what is that? Well, this is actually a Gatsby. Oh my God. Can I do it? Can you see it? Can you see it now?
Yeah, we can see the back there.
This is actually a Gatsby hat from, back in the day, in the good old days of the interwebs, we had something called Gatsby, and I got the cap from them. I got the cap from them, and I can't remember why. Why did we get it? Do you remember?
We got swags from them on multiple occasions. We won
Yes.
the Funk Jam at one point, and then I did a talk
No,
at
not the Funk
their.
Jam. You won the something. Was it the Funk Jam?
Wasn't it the Funk Jam?
Yeah, it was the Funk Jam.
The Funk,
But it was
yeah. I have the sticker here somewhere.
we got it way before that. This was one of the earliest. So
Okay, well
anyway,
then I think we got it because I did a talk at GatsbyConf 2020, probably. I think it was 2020. Yeah.
so I made this. This is a classic bicorn hat that a lot of the pirates of the Golden Age and the Navy guys had, like the officers. So you see, it has one corn there and one corn there, makes two corn. That's a bicorn hat. They also had three corn hats. I'm guessing this heart here is for Gatsby. Don't you think?
Hmm?
It's a purple heart, so it's probably for
Yes,
Gatsby.
it's purple Gatsby hearts.
Yeah, Gatsby, may you rest in peace. It was good times. I still have
Well, we had. I
still have my website on Gatsby, and
I still have my website on Gatsby, and I must say, working with this, I do miss
yeah,
the
me too.
data layer where I could go and have a look at the data layer and see if everything was
And
correct.
and if I can keep on a little bit, is it okay?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna.
So
I'll
it's
just do some cleanup.
So the rumors about Gatsby's death is actually exaggerated because I think it's 2 weeks ago or something where I was like, oh, this my website is doing stuff I don't like, so I just basically went in and created a 100% new website from scratch in Gatsby and just copy pasted in my content because my website was like doing my website was doing way too much. Look at this. Not rest in peace. Yeah, my whole business is still in Gatsby, says William. Yeah, there you go.
Well, your whole business runs on Gatsby. Our whole business was helping people with Gatsby, and people aren't using it anymore. But if you need help with your Gatsby site, let us know. We know it all. We can help. I have an emergency call if there's ever any trouble. But continue your story, Ola. Oh, he's on the phone. I think our daughter called. So, I am just thinking that we should only fetch all of them in production and only fetch some of them in, well, it's pretty fast, so maybe you don't have to. But like, this is an interesting experiment. If you suddenly have like 10,000 records that you're going to statically generate, you can do, I was like thinking, fetch all. And it's going to be true if we are in import meta and what would it be? Dev prod. If fetch all is prod, then if we're in prod, we'll do fetch all true, and if not, false. So then we can say that fetch all has to be true, and meta current page has to be less than total pages. Otherwise, it will just skip doing the recursion. So now we should only be getting 50. Yeah. So this is a good way to make a little check to say that, okay, in production, or I mean, in development, we only want 50 blah, 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 50 episodes, because then we can be snappier in development. And like, if we check 50 episodes, if they look good, it's going to look good. And then I also thought that while we're in development, it could be nice to get all episodes, but then in production, we'll only get the published episodes. But how do we get all? We got to go back to transistor status string. Oh, so we have to do one of them if it's okay. Then we don't do that. One of published. Blah, 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 blah. But so let's skip that then. We'll do published. So what is interesting though, Ola?
Yes.
Are you back? You didn't finish your story. You're gonna get to where you can do your story, but is that we are still getting, well, now we're getting 50. But we were getting 202 episodes. And if I go here, it says 196 in total. So what's up? That's all I gotta say. I gotta figure out where these phantom 6 episodes are coming from. But did you have the story or?
What was it?
You were like in the middle of something, and I don't remember what you were in the middle of. We were talking about Gatsby, and Will was
Yes.
having his business, and you were talking about that it's not all dead yet because you were had your site on Gatsby and something Netlify. You were like your
yeah, okay. My website was on Gatsby and it was doing too much. And I had actually just watched Salma on a panel discussing the Jamstack. And she was like, yeah, my website is doing too much. It's not really static because it's like doing this, doing that. And I was like, yeah. Because my website was like, I tried to rebuild it and it was like, no, you can't rebuild it because DSG and what's the other thing? The other thing doesn't work.
SSG.
Yeah, probably. And I was like, yeah, but I don't really use that stuff anymore. That was just for learning. I was just experimenting to kind of learn that kind of stuff. And I was like, but my website doesn't need it. So I just rebuild it. And then, what do you know? Salma also rebuilt her website to make it more static. I think her website is almost static now. Is that right? Have you followed that thing?
I think so. And I think that's what we want to do with this podcast thing too, is that it is we want it to be 100% static. So when it's built, all of the HTML files are built, and when it's uploaded, like nothing can go wrong. And I actually have a good use case or like a case study on that. If you go to Twitter, I just posted it this morning because I was in Netlify, and every time I am surprised by this site that I have. So I created this site, Oslo Stories, but it's in the region Oslo Historier, and it's a site with these different audio guides, so you can walk around Oslo and you can listen to audio about different locations in Oslo, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kind of different collections. And I have not deployed this since 2018, and I think maybe I haven't touched it since 2018. I think the first deploy was 2016 or 2017, and I just love that it's still going. Like it's still there. Like Netlify is like, you can't build it anymore because it's on like a old build something, but as long as I don't touch it, it's still working. And that's some of the things that Salma was talking about in the panel. It's like a true, and she was saying like a true Jamstack site should be able to just kind of run indefinitely without breaking, because all the data is fetched at build time. So if the APIs change, if the APIs go down, it still keeps on working. And her site wasn't anymore because she was like asking Twitch for something, and then it was server side generated, and then Twitch changed their API or something, and that broke her site. So yeah, but then as you can see here, that but it is a little funny because it's still working really well, but it has no icons because I was using, for some reason, I think it was like time, and then I forgot to change it. I am using Font Awesome hosted services, and you had to pay for that. So if you go in and you have a look at the button here, and then the icon here is FA Play, and And it looks like to be some kind of parenthesis here, but it used to work. So the icons aren't coming anymore because the font awesome, the connection to font awesome isn't working. But you can still play it. So if you click on this button, which is a play button, you can see it starts playing, and that's it's this one that is playing. And then what is cool is that it is it is basically what Gatsby ended up being, but this is a Jekyll site. So it's the
Yeah.
Jekyll is statically generating all the pages, and then when you land, so you can land on any of these pages, so they are available for search for SEO. Like these are available pages, but as soon as you land on the page, it will rehydrate into an Angular application. And then so you can start playing, and we can see that it's playing because it's like pulsating. And then you can move around just like we're trying to do now, because now it's a single page application, and you can like, you know, walk around while yeah. So it's like a very a lot of us had those same ideas. I never thought to make it into a framework like some people, but it's a Jekyll site that hydrates into an Angular site. I'm still pretty proud of this site. And it's still going
Yep.
strong. And I think it's even
And
included in like Visit Norway's list of things to use.
if it stops working, you'll just republish it in some other way.
Yes, because I can just take the published folder to Netlify, like back that up, and I could host it anywhere. Because this is not using Netlify functions, it's not using anything. It's just yeah, except for these icons. But we could rebuild it in Astro. That could be a fun one. If people would be interested in how you can create an audio guide, location-based audio guides. We have a lot of information on that because we did quite a bit of research on that. We have another site too. I don't know if it's still up, Collective Radio.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, no, it's not up
Yeah.
yet anymore. We had one where you could actually sit on the tram, and then while you were passing things you were sitting on the tram, and you passed some kind of building that had a story attached, the audio would start playing. And these were all web apps. When people were like, you can't make this in a web app, but it turned out you could. So the good old days. But now we're back, and we're using a new framework, and we're doing the same things, just in slightly different ways.
Yes.
So I just committed that we now have been able to fetch all of them, and I removed the thing where we change how many episodes we are fetching based on production and development, because I think it's pretty fast, so I'm not annoyed by the build time yet. So let's just get all of them, because that will give us kind of more information, or not more information, a better. We know if things are correct. So I thought, well, maybe we should do that tomorrow. Let's wait for that tomorrow, because now, okay, we have generated one page for every episode. But then in Astro, how can we make a list of all of these pages? Like, I don't want to go here and do an import. I don't want to do a fetch of all these episodes one more time on the index page. So I'm hoping Astro has some kind of way where I can like get a list of all the generated pages.
Yeah.
And then put them here.
Yeah.
Because otherwise we would be asking for 200 episodes once, and then 200 episodes again. And, again, that's what we loved about the Gatsby data layer. You fetched all the data into the data layer, and it was cached in the data layer, and it was available for you all through the site. And I'm thinking Astro should have like similar functionality, but we don't know yet because we haven't explored it.
Yes. That's right.
Yes.
We don't. But maybe we should summarize what we did.
Yes.
What did we do?
Okay, so the what today, the what was making sure we fetch all the episodes from Transistor and then generate a page for every episode, and not just the first page of episodes, which was 20 episodes.
Yes. Why?
Because we want this site to be the one place to go to see all the episodes for our podcast, because we're not going to be using the page that we get from Transistors. So in Slow and Steady, we are using Transistors hosted page, which is totally fine. And Transistor is really the place you want to go if you're going to host a podcast. It's just out of the box, everything works. But we want to play around with the design, and we want to be able to add additional content. We want to have blog posts and stuff, because our podcast is more than a podcast. It's going to be like little mini universes. So they need more. So that's why we're doing it. So for then Data in the Wild, instead of having a hosted page by Transistor, we would have this page that we're creating in Astro, and then we need to fetch all the episodes, because otherwise some episodes will just like not be there. And the how is that we extended our code. So yesterday we got it working with kind of just doing one fetch without any params in the URL. We just did a fetch to episodes, and that gave us 20 episodes. But we want all of them. So we start by creating our initial state, or our initial condition. This is called something specific in the recursion. Like you have your initial call, and then we want current page to be 1, and we set total pages to -1 because we don't know what it is yet. And then we do all of this once, no matter what, and then we check the condition. So we do a fetch where we then are asking to get all episodes that are published, 50 of them, and then we start on page 1.
Yes.
And then we take that response and push it to the episode data variable. And then we need to update the meta object here with the current page +1. So this is like, what do we want to get next? And then the total pages, with the total pages we're getting back from Transistor. And then we shall only do this again if the current page is less than or equal to the total pages available to us. And then we create a page per episode the same way as we did before. And then we're just console logging the page's length because I wanted to. Because I don't have the data layers. I don't really know. But I think maybe this little thing here, does that give us something? I would love to see like what pages are actually being created. No. Because in Gatsby, we had also on the 404 page in development, we could see all the pages that had been created, statically generated. And yeah, I want some kind of overview like that. So we need to go digging a little bit in the Astro documentation to see if we can find ways of doing some of the things we're used to.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was today's episode.
That was today's episode. It was great.
Yeah.
It's great.
We did a tiny bit of recursion, but we also just, I like their story, but your stories. And Will was here. I'm actually attending Will's technical content workshop on Thursday. So if you are in Oslo and you want to become a better technical writer, you should check that out and join me.
Yes. And I tried to ask him on Twitter if he's streaming it or something, but I did that right now.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Oh yeah, you think he's not?
No, I can go and now I just removed because it's in my chat. I don't want to expose my chat.
No, you don't need
so where is the link? There it is. And then I'll open. I can show it. No, at this stage. There we go. Content crafts, technical content rights workshops. I think if you go to meshcommunity.com and then events, it's here under upcoming on March 7th. And you fill in a form. Click this form and then you fill it in. And it's from 4:30 to 5:30. I like this. It's like an hour. It's not like, oh, let's do a 5-hour workshop on technical content. Like I could never sit through that, but I'll be able to sit through an hour. You're on mute.
What are we doing tomorrow then? Apropos.
Yeah, so tomorrow, tomorrow we're gonna figure out how to list all the episodes on the index page. And I am hoping we can do that without having to fetch from the Transistor API again. I'm hoping Astro has some kind of way. Have I been this low the whole time? I just told another guy in the Discord that his head needed to be higher in the frame. This is because we were watching slow horses on the screen yesterday, and I forgot that. See, this is what happens when we stream every day.
Slow Horses, it's a great show.
It was a great show. I really enjoy it. So, see, this is how I should look in frame. Next time, you need to tell me, Ola. Like my crown should be at least above.
Oh, you were too low. Okay, I didn't.
Yeah, this is not a good like frame. You know,
you should be down here like that. I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, good.
What was I talking about? Yes, we want to be able to use some kind of Astro function to fetch all of the episode pages that we've created and list them on the front page.
So that people can just click around and listen to whatever they want.
Yes, exactly.
I like
maybe we just want to have some on the front page and then have like an archives page, but we'll figure that out next week. This week is about getting all the functionality, all the functional pieces working, and then next week we're going to think about user interaction and design.
All right.
Yeah.
I love it.
Remember to subscribe, and if you can even leave a comment, like not in the chat, but like a comment below this stream, that will really help us in the algorithms.
We got a comment, didn't we?
Yeah. We the same guy that tipped us off that Astro could do a persistent player has also commented again with some more good information.
Oh, I didn't see it. Okay, I'll go check it out then.
Yeah.
All right. Well, see you all tomorrow
at 2 p.m. Central European time, which means exactly an hour before this time in your time zone.
I got this today, by the way.
We forgot to show. Look at this. I got a new notebook. Look at my old one. This is my old one. It's pretty. It's like it's seen better days. And now I'm gonna open this new beautiful one. It's actually more orange than red. Ooh.
Yeah. And I got all these little cards. 120 from France.
French index cards.
You know the country where they always strike. Not everybody at the same time, but there's always somebody having a strike. You know what I'm saying?
And then I got these tiny books that I'm gonna bring with me, so that I'm gonna I'm gonna write in these instead of surfing on my phone while I'm out and about waiting for people or something. You know.
All right.
From our favorite shop, Lush in Oslo. Lush Dive. That was it. Now I'm ending it.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.